Morning, church. Pastor Brandon here, in my parents' house now, and picking up where Pastor Matt left off at the end of chapter 4. I'm going to pick up here beginning in chapter 5. We're going to go slow through chapter 5. There's just a ton of stuff in here, so we're going to start with verses 1 and 2. Follow God's example, therefore. Anytime you see a therefore, you need to go backwards, and you can look at chapters 1 through 4 and see what Paul is talking about when he says therefore. So you go back and look at what is God's example, and then you're going to follow that. And he goes on to say, so follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children. So you're following God's example as dearly loved children, not as so just think of your own children if you've had children or kids that you've worked with and you love them. And sometimes kids do what you want them to, sometimes they don't, but they're dearly loved children. So we're like that to God. So you're not trying to earn God's favor. You're living out of a love for God like you're his children, and he treats you as such. Just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. So Paul wraps up that little thought there. Follow God's example, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering. So our lives, once we've put our faith in Jesus, become this fragrant offering to God, not a constant battle to do everything just right, but to live as Christ lived, sacrificially, lovingly, caring for others, sacrificing your life for what God wants. And what God wants for us is the best for us, and we get the most out of life by living for God and serving others, just like Christ set that example for us. Now we're going to pick up in verse 3 tomorrow. Can't wait to see you till then. Have a great day, church.